Troops neutralize the terrorists in Northeast. PSN places pharmacists on emergency Ebola alert. 90 killed in China coal mine blast. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the news around the world. I am Adetuke Olaleye, and on the sign language corner is Shakirat Ogundeji. Troops of the Joint Task Force Operation Adinkain operating on that Operation Desert Sanity and related missions have recorded significant operational successes across the Northeast. It said the successes include the rescue of an 8-year-old kidnapped victim who was abducted during the March 3, 2026 attack on the Ngoshi community and neutralization of 2 terrorists. A statement by the Media Information Officer Headquarters, Joint Task Force Northeast, Adin Sani Uba, noted that the other abducted victims were also rescued. Arms and ammunition, explosives were seized. Likewise, criminal collaborators were arrested during the operation. In a related development, troops of the Operation Adinkai conducting an operation around Uvaha, a deserted village along the Goza-Limankara axis, rescued a 20-year-old abducted Fulani male. The Joint Task Force reassured the public of the unwavering commitment to sustaining ongoing operations aimed at defeating terrorism, restoring lasting security, and promoting socio-economic stability across the Northeast region. In a related development, the Chief of Naval Staff, CNS Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, has attributed the significant decline in maritime insecurity in the Gulf of Guinea and Nigeria's territorial waters to the resilience, courage, and unwavering dedication of Nigerian Navy personnel. Vice Admiral Abbas stated this during a special Jumat service held to commemorate the Nigerian Navy's 70th anniversary. According to him, the Nigerian Navy has evolved into a formidable maritime force and a critical pillar of Nigeria's national security architecture. He noted that Nigeria's maritime environment remains vital to the nation's oil and gas resources, international trade, fisheries, and other strategic economic activities. He said that despite prevailing security challenges, the Nigerian Navy remains committed to supporting the federal government's drive for national development and enhanced security in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Meanwhile, residents of the Ariko community in Ikacha local government area of Kaduna State have cried out to the federal and state governments to urgently secure the release of 37 worshippers abducted during Easter Sunday attack on churches in the area. The bandits are demanding 1 billion naira from the affected community before releasing the 37 kidnapped people that have been in captivity since Easter Sunday. President of the Katumi Development Association, KUDA, Dr. Joseph Ariko, told newsmen that the community cannot afford to meet the 1 billion naira ransom and 35 motorcycles demanded by the abductors, saying that their only hope lies in government intervention and swift rescue operations of the affected people. The victims taken from St. Augustine Catholic Church, Ekwa, and the Baptist churches have now spent about 45 days in captivity, leaving families and residents in fear, anguish, and uncertainty over their fate. However, community leaders urged security agencies to intensify efforts to ensure the safe release of the victims and restore residents' confidence. In the meantime, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has disassociated himself from the alleged statements and material circulating online linking him with the support for banditry in Nigeria. Gumi, in a press statement issued in Kaduna on Saturday, described the reports as fake, manipulated, and doctored by individuals and groups pursuing ethnic and sectional interest. He said that some of his media interviews, public lectures, and comments on insecurity had been deliberately misrepresented by certain internet content creators seeking sensational headlines and online traffic. The Islamic cleric reaffirmed his loyalty to Nigeria, describing the country as a nation with unmatched potential. He urged the public, media organizations, and government authorities to disregard any misleading materials being circulated in his name. We shall now take a short commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Our bodies get serums, washes, lotions, cleansers, scrubs. But underarms only get deodorant? That's why our new breakthrough formula contains pure hyaluron and vitamin C to deeply care for your underarms for a softer and even skin tone in 2 weeks. With 72-hour sweat and odor protection, try the new Nivea Derma Control Natural Tone because your underarms deserve more. Nivea is for skin.
Welcome back. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, has placed pharmacists and community pharmacies across the country on high alert following fresh Ebola virus disease outbreaks reported in parts of Central and East Africa. In an urgent nationwide advisory issued to members on Saturday, President of the PSN, Ayuba Tanko, directed all pharmacists to immediately strengthen surveillance, infection prevention measure, and emergency response protocols to prevent a possible outbreak in Nigeria. The directive comes amid heightened concerns over cross-border transmission risk, even as the coordinating Minister of Health confirmed that Nigeria has not recorded any Ebola case. The PCN, however, warned that pharmacists remain among the first healthcare professionals likely to encounter suspected cases and must therefore maintain absolute vigilance. It advised pharmacists to immediately screen patients with unexplained fever and recent travel history to affected regions in East and Central Africa or possible contact with travelers from those areas within the previous 21 days. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called for urgent and coordinated action to end the child marriage, describing it as a major contributor to obstetric fistula and a threat to the health as well as future of women and girls. The First Lady said efforts must be intensified to empower girls through education and ensure access to quality healthcare services, insisting that no woman should suffer from a condition that is preventable and treatable. Mrs. Tinubu made the call in a message commemorating the 2026 International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. The First Lady explained that harmful traditional practices and inadequate awareness further worsen the situation by limiting access to skilled healthcare and critical maternal health information. Mrs. Tinubu stressed the need for government, community, and stakeholders to work together to eliminate barriers preventing women and girls from accessing healthcare services. There is currently no permanent cure for hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, as the condition can only be managed through medication and healthy lifestyle choices. Medical experts have said severe cases may require lifelong treatment, making regular blood pressure checks and healthy living essential for everyone. Former Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Professor Babatunde Salako, stated this during an appearance on the BCOS television magazine program, Saturday Special. BCOS reporter Fidora Afolaboye reports.
Every year on May 17, the world marks World Hypertension Day to create awareness about hypertension, commonly known as high blood pressure. The campaign highlights the importance of regular medical checkups, healthy diet, physical exercise, and early treatment in reducing hypertension-related complications and deaths globally. Speaking on BCOS television magazine program, Saturday Special, former Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Professor Babatunde Salako, described hypertension as a medical condition in which blood pressure rises above the normal range, stressing that normal blood pressure is essential for healthy living. He identified major risk factors associated with hypertension to include hereditary factors, excessive alcohol intake, aging, high salt consumption, obesity, stress, and unhealthy lifestyle habits.
Now, we have what we call essential hypertension or primary hypertension. Now, that's It's about 80% of the cases of high blood pressure that you find in people. And then you have secondary hypertension. Now, the secondary type of hypertension have known causes that you can actually attempt to take care of them that may lead to some kind of cure. Okay? Whereas the primary one, which is essential, does not have well-known causes. So we describe what has been found to be associated with it as risk factors.
Okay.
That is, those things that you engage in that can give you hypertension.
Professor Salako explained that blood pressure often increases with age, making older adults more vulnerable to hypertension. It therefore advised the elderly to monitor their blood pressure regularly and adhere strictly to prescribed medications. He also noted that women who become pregnant from the age of 30 and above may develop high blood pressure during pregnancy, adding that such cases require close medical attention to safeguard both mother and child.
The individual will have symptoms that relate to that secondary disease, okay? But the 80% or the more than 80% that is essential, primary hypertension, does not have symptoms. So often it is referred to as a silent killer because it gradually destroys the body bit by bit, and by the time the person is having what is a symptom, it will be a symptom of a damaged organ.
Oh.
Yes. So, but some form of general symptoms can be associated with it. For example, headache. If you have very severely elevated blood pressure, then you are likely going to have headache.
Professor Babatunde Salako further stated that blood pressure readings above 140/90 require proper medical evaluation and treatment, urging Nigerians to prioritize healthy living and avoid habits that could increase their risk of hypertension. Fidora Afolagwe, BCOS News.
Prostate disease remains among the most common health conditions affecting men globally, particularly with advancing age. The conditions range from non-cancerous disorders such as benign prostatic hyperplasia, known as BPH and proctitis, to more serious illnesses like prostate cancer, despite their urinary, sexual, and overall well-being. Many cases still go undetected due to low awareness and the absence of symptoms at the early stages. PCS reporter Temitope Ogunleye provides more insights into the disease of the prostate. A report is presented by Adebayo Abdurrafi.
The growing incidence of prostate-related diseases across the world has continued to raise concern among health experts, largely due to increasing life expectancy, population growth, and improved diagnostic procedures. Medical experts identify benign prostatic hyperplasia, prostatitis, and prostate cancer as the three major categories of prostate disorders affecting men. While benign prostatic hyperplasia and prostatitis are non-cancerous conditions, they often cause symptoms such as urinary difficulties, pain, discomfort, and sleep disturbances, which can significantly affect the quality of life of patients. Prostate cancer, however, remains one of the most common cancers affecting men and continues to account for a high number of cancer-related deaths globally. While speaking with BCOS News, Professor and Honorary Consultant Urologist, Department of Surgery, University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, Augustine Takure, explained that prostate conditions affect men differently at various stages of life. According to him, prostatitis is more common among younger men. Benign enlargement of the prostate is usually associated with middle-aged men, while prostate cancer occurs mostly in older men.
The treatment of prostate cancer depends on the stage that the individual has presented. If it is a cancer that was found without a symptom or without any symptoms, then that means the individual can be cured of the prostate cancer. So for such individual, we can be checking the prostate-specific antigen on a yearly basis. And anytime there's a slight increase more than normal, then we intervene. We can also confirm that the patient has a cancer by doing a biopsy, putting a needle into the prostate and taking some parts of the prostate, send it for examination under the microscope. So once it is confirmed that this patient has an early prostate cancer, the cure is through an operation. And the operation can be done by using modern instruments. We call it laparoscopy, or you can use robots to do such surgeries. For those who don't have the facilities for robot and laparoscopy, you can go through the lower parts of the tummy and approach the prostate to remove the whole of the prostate gland.
Professor Takure further explained that treatment for prostate cancer depends largely on the stage at which the disease is diagnosed. He noted that early-stage prostate cancer may be treated through surgery, while radiotherapy serves as an alternative for patients who may not be medically fit for surgical procedures. For advanced cases, he said hormonal therapy involving medications, injections, or surgical removal of the testes may be adopted to control the progression of the disease.
We need to understand why the cancer is growing itself. But there are some diets that reduces cancer growth in the body. So prevention, they say, is better than cure. So diet that is rich in tomato tends to reduce the occurrence or every occurrence of prostate cancer. Vegetables are also very good, like a broccoli vegetable. Are very good. Fish that contains omega-3 fatty acids can also help in reducing it. Eating grains like nuts can also help in modifying or reducing it. Of course, the worst enemy of cancer of any parts of the body is cigarette smoking. So when you want to avoid smoking cigarettes as much as possible, because cigarettes not only predispose to prostate cancer, can cause cancer anywhere in the body.
The medical expert advised men to adopt preventive health measures such as maintaining healthy dietary habits, avoiding smoking, engaging in regular physical exercise, and going for routine medical checkups to ensure early detection and effective management of prostate-related diseases.
We shall now go on another short commercial break. Please stay with us.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pulp extract. For visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, for your shade of beautiful.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point oh.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land at Sure Banker. Progress na small win wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go buy ball.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu has hailed the huge turnout of All Progressives Congress APC members during the presidential direct primary, describing it as a beauty of democracy. He urged party members and all Nigerians to troop out during the next year's elections to cast their votes as a patriotic duty to the nation. President Tinubu and his wife, First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who arrived at his Ward 12 Ireti Primary School, Etiosa Ikoyi, around 11:30 a.m., were accompanied by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The APC presidential ticket for the 2027 general election is being contested by the incumbent president and the businessman Sterling Ushifo, prompting the party to organize a direct primary to select its flag bearer. Announcing the scores and winner, the ward returning officer Martha Adiku announced that President Tinubu secured 4,996 votes out of 5,163 accredited voters in the ward, confirming a decisive victory at the poll. President applauded the exercise, saying that he was impressed by the huge turnout, adding that reports reaching him from other state chapters reaffirmed that the shadow poll was peaceful and orderly. Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja for Cotonou to represent President Bola Tinubu at the inauguration of President and the Republic of Benin, Romualdo Wadagni, Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President, Mr. Stanley Nkwocha, made this known in a statement on Saturday. Nkwocha said the Vice President Shettima would join other leaders across Africa and beyond at the event scheduled to take place at the Presidential Palace in Cotonou on Sunday, May 24. He said that Benin Republic and Nigeria share deep historical, socio-cultural, and economic ties, adding that their bilateral relations are frequently defined by border security, trade policies, and energy cooperation. Nkwocha said that the Vice President, who is being accompanied by senior aides and top government functionaries, would return to Nigeria after his engagement in the Republic of Benin. Minister of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande has described the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) as Nigeria's most enduring platform for fostering friendship and mutual understanding across ethnic and religious divides. Speaking in Abuja at an event to celebrate the 53rd anniversary of the scheme, Olawande said the NYSC has remained a vital national institution since its establishment in 1973. He noted that the scheme continues to serve as a unique meeting point where young graduates from different parts of the country are exposed to diverse cultures, values, and experiences that help strengthen national cohesion. The minister commended the contributions of corps members to national development, noting their active roles in schools, hospitals, rural communities, farms, and other critical sectors across the country. Olawande urged states to integrate corps members into development programs and improve their welfare to enhance service delivery nationwide. The federal government has allayed fears that the adoption of AI technology would lead to job losses in the public service. Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Kashifu Nua, made the revelation at the International Civil Service Conference 2026 held in Abuja. Nua, represented by the Director, Stakeholder Management and Partnership Department, Dr. Aristotle Onumu, noted that the AI technology should be viewed as a tool for the advancement of productivity rather than a threat to human relevance. To address this concern, it said that NITDA had commenced agency-wide AI capacity building programs for all staff members. Inua added that employees whose traditional roles were being transformed by automation were being reassigned and redesignated into emerging AI-related functions. He explained that the importance of maintaining human oversight in AI deployment, warning against the complete removal of human intelligence and accountability from governance systems. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has said that the national average cost of healthy diet per adult a day stood at over 1,500 as at February. The MBS revealed this in its report for February 2026, released in Abuja. The Bureau said the cost of healthy diet per day in February increased by over 3.7%, compared to over 1,400 recorded in January 2026. The MBS said the cost was least expensive combination of locally available items that met globally consistent food-based dietary guidelines. The report added that animal source foods were the most expensive food group recommendation to meet in February, accounting for 39% of the total cost, providing 13% of total calories. In the meantime, as the Ileya festival draws near, attention is once again shifting to major food markets, where residents are making preparations for the celebration. Food remains a major part of the festivities, with families expected to prepare various meals and share with loved ones, as well as the less privileged. In this report, Olamide Owolabi examines the level of activities at the Orita Mary Market in Ibadan, ahead of the Ileya celebration.
Is one of the major attractions of the Ileya celebration, as Muslim faithful prepare different delicacies to entertain family members, friends, neighbors, and visitors after the Eid prayers. The act of sharing meals with loved ones and the less privileged also remains an important aspect of the celebration. With the festival only a few days away, many residents have begun preparations, while traders are also looking forward to increased patronage. To assess the level of activities ahead of the celebration, BCOS News visited Orita Mary Market in the Ibadan metropolis to observe the turnout of buyers and the pace of business transactions. Findings revealed that unlike previous festive periods, usually marked by heavy crowds and brisk commercial activities, the market recorded a relatively turnout of customers. However, prices of some food items were observed to have dropped slightly compared to previous months. Some traders who spoke with BCOS News expressed mixed feelings over the development, while some acknowledged reductions in the prices of certain commodities. Others lamented poor sales due to low patronage.
Àwọn èèyàn ò sì rá owó òrówó jẹun o ìkan àpò kan epo gbogbo ẹ̀ báwọn Ọlọ́run jà mọ́ ráàánú gbà eléyìí wẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí àpò kan ní láì 400 tó ti yẹ ìgbà tí ń tà nù àwọn eléyìí 5,000 10,000 lélùbọ̀ gidi ọdún ìgbà ìrọ̀rùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn náà bó ṣe jẹ́ rọrùn òrówó rà.
ọjà wọn gan o ọjà wọn àgàgà ata. Pocket ata yìí 10,000 naira ni. Pocket màátì 10,000 naira ni. Gbogbo nǹkan ó wọ́n gan. Débi pé owó táwa gan fi ń rà kódà ó sú wa. Àdé ríta ó wọ́n gan ni. Basket ata 10,000 naira. Basket báwà 10,000 naira. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ bí 5,000. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a ti ta 5,000, a ti ta 3,000. A ti ta 3, a ti ta 4.
Market leaders also expressed concern over the situation, noting that the low turnout of buyers during the festive season has negatively affected business activities and expected profits.
Àwọn èèyàn tó kó pamọ́ ni kò yá, kò sí títà, kò sí rírà. Gbogbo kálukú sì ti ń wọkọ̀ wá jìnnà. Ẹlòmíín wá lọ́nà Àkànná, ẹlòmíín wá lọ́nà Ságbẹ́, ẹlòmíín wá lọ́nà Ìdó, Ayégún, Mọ́níyà. Káàkiri ẹ wá wò owó tó kọ míì bá fún yàwó ẹ̀ ní èwo kò padà lọlé ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀kú rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kíjọba wá nǹkan ṣe sí i àwọn oúnjẹ tó fà á ni pé kò yé wa ọjọ́ sì rí báyìí tẹ́lẹ̀ sáré ti lé yá yìí gbogbo ẹni tí ọba wà lórí ẹgbẹ́ kọ́lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa láṣìírí àti kíṣẹ́ àti muslim kọ́lọ́wọ́ aláṣìírí kò sí nǹkan kan.
àrà pẹ̀rẹ̀ pé ilé yapọ́dún kankan ń bọ̀ rárá àti rárá o níṣẹ́ ń gbogbo ọjà dá látòkè sísàlẹ̀ lápẹẹrẹ pé bóyá kò sówó ń lù kódà ráìsì gan tún wálẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀sọ́jà àríwò kankan gbogbo àṣẹ gbọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ tá à ń rojọ́ nù látàárọ̀ a ti ń ta ráìsì 53,000 báyìí ní báàgì ráìsì látòrí 60,000 ó ti drop 53 tó rọ́jà wọlé dáadáa ṣe à ń pé ọjà wa ó ń lọ òkè ó ń lọ ọlẹ̀ gbówó ṣiṣẹ́ bá ṣe rí sí ni ṣùgbọ́n lọ́wọ́ báyìí 53 ni.
Meanwhile, some buyers decry the persistent increase and instability in the prices of essential food items, saying the situation has made it difficult for many families to adequately prepare for the Ileya celebration.
Nǹkan ò cheap o, gbogbo nǹkan tún léwó sí ni o, nǹkan tá a lérò gan tá a ṣí láti ilé kọ́ là ń rà báyìí. Irú ẹ̀gúsí ni mo rà ń bí báyìí sìn, wọ́n ní 37, 36, ilé ìtọ́jẹ́ pé a sí bí 3,280. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló tún gbẹ́nu òkè àti èlùbọ́ náà gbẹ́nu òkè gbogbo nǹkan tá a ṣí kọ́ làbá òróró náà gbogbo ẹ̀ ló sáà tí wọ́n ata ò tiẹ̀ tí ì ṣe é tọ́.
Ebi ń pa ìlú tó ti yé yín owó tẹ́ bá mú tẹ̀tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ní ìsìn kò tó ra nǹkan kan ọdún ilé pọ̀ ọdún tó lọ lọ́nlọ́run aládẹ́wà ọdún tó lé bó ṣe lè tó ìní ó tó bí ọdún mẹ́ta sísè tó lé ọlọ́mọdé ó lé mọ́ ó lé gan ọlọ́mọdé ó lé mọ́ aláǹkakálukú ni o ọlọ́run ìjáró ni wá o.
With only a few days left before the Ileya festival, many residents are hopeful that prices of food items will become more affordable, while traders also anticipate input patronage as preparations for the celebration continue. Olamide Owolabi, BCOS News.
Time for the sports segment.
Good evening and welcome to the sports segment. I am Boluwaji Ogumola. Chief Operating Officer of the Nigeria Premier Football League, Davidson Owomi, has revealed that the league body has prepared 2 trophies ahead of a dramatic final matchday showdown in the 2025-2026 NPFL season. The season reaches its climax on Sunday, with the title race set to be decided between Enugu Rangers and Rivers United. League leaders and 8-time champions, Rangers International, will travel to Lagos to face Ikorodu City at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, while Rivers United will host Katsina United in Port Harcourt. It is the first time in over a decade that the NPFL title will go down to the final day in a regular league format. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has approved the free entry for supporters attending Rivers United's final match of the 2025-2026 NPFL season against Katsina United. The match day 38 encounter is billed for Sunday at the Adokie Amaisemaka Stadium in Port Harcourt, with kickoff set for 4 p.m. In a move aimed at encouraging widespread support for the club, the governor, through the Rivers State Ministry of Sport, directed the stadium gates be opened to fans free of charge for the decisive fixture. To facilitate transportation for supporters, the state government will also provide free shuttle bus services from designated locations across Port Harcourt. Rivers United head into the final game of the season with an opportunity to secure the NPFL title. Victory over Katsina United, alongside a favorable result involving Ikorodu City in Lagos, would see the Port Harcourt-based club crowned league champions. Manchester City have announced that Pep Guardiola will continue his relationship with the City Football Group by taking up a role as a global ambassador. This follows Guardiola's decision to leave the Premier League club after 10 years in charge of the first team. This new role will see the 55-year-old giving technical advice to the clubs in the group and working on specific projects and collaborations. Guardiola lives as City's longest-serving manager when he takes charge of his 593rd and final game against Aston Villa on Sunday. During 10 years at the Etihad Stadium, he has led the club to a remarkable 20 trophies, including 6 Premier League titles and a Champions League trophy in 2023. Austrian defender David Alaba will leave Real Madrid at the end of the season when his contract expires. The 33-year-old has been in the Spanish capital for 5 years after joining from Bayern Munich, but serious injury problems have stopped him from playing consistently. Alaba won 11 trophies, including 2 Champions League and 2 La Liga titles, playing 131 times for the club. Alaba, like right back Dani Carvajal and departing coach Alvaro Arbeloa, can say goodbye to the club supporters on Saturday in Madrid's final league match of the current season at home against Athletic Bilbao. Finally, from the world of basketball, former NBA head coach and newly appointed D-Tigers handler David Fizdale is expected to take charge of the Nigeria senior men's basketball team during the July window of the 2027 FIBA World Cup African qualifiers. The development is seen as a major boost for the Nigerian side as they continue their quest to qualify for the next stage of the competition after a difficult outing in the previous round, where the Tigers suffered 2 defeats. Nigeria had drawn in Group C alongside Tunisia, Rwanda, and Guinea in the qualification series. Fisdale's expected presence on the bench is anticipated to bring experience and stability to the team as the Tigers aim to revive their qualification hopes in the crucial July fixtures. And that's sport. Thanks for watching.
The United States has directed that Nigerians and other nationals applying for green cards return to their home countries to apply for the process. A press statement issued by the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services noted that the policy was aimed at restoring what it described as original intent of the United States immigration law. The agency spokesman, Zach Kaler, said the policy would help reduce the number of migrants living illegally in the country after unsuccessful residency applications. The statement noted that, except in extraordinary circumstances, foreigners seeking adjustment of status would now be required to process their residency applications through the United States consular offices abroad, under the supervision of the United States Department of State. Also, the President Donald Trump administration directed the agency to freeze all immigration petitions, including applications for permanent residency and citizenship from nationals of 19 countries covered by the travel ban announced in June 2025. And on the foreign scene, a gas explosion at a coal mine in China has killed at least 90 people. The incident will be the country's deadliest mining accident in recent years. Foreign news editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story about the explosion and other foreign stories. Our report is presented by Bimbo Akombi.
State media Xinhua said 247 workers had been on duty underground when the blast ripped through the Lingshenyu mine in Kunyan County, Shaanxi province on Friday. China's coal mines are considered among the deadliest in the world due to poor safety standards, weak regulation, and corruption as companies seek to profit from the country's rapidly expanding economy. Rescue operations were ongoing as emergency crews continued searching for survivors of the explosion. 9 miners were still unaccounted for as of Saturday afternoon, Xinhua said, and more than 120 people were hospitalized. Among the injured, many were hurt by toxic gas, according to state-run broadcaster CCTV. The blast occurred shortly after a carbon monoxide alert was issued, with some reports claiming gas levels had exceeded safe limits. President Xi Jinping has urged authorities across China to intensify efforts to prevent major accidents in the wake of Friday's blast. Israeli forces launched a new wave of air attacks on Lebanon, killing at least 2 people and wounding several others. An airstrike carried out by Israeli warplanes at the dawn on a house in the town of Al-Rafid in the Rashaya al-Wadi district killed 1 person and wounded another, Lebanon's national news agency NNA said, while an air attack that hit the town of Shahabia killed and wounded several people. An Israeli drone launched a raid on the road of Ain Bal in the town of Al-Hush in the Tyre district, killing 1 person, the NNA said. The NNA said an overnight strike in the southern city of Tyre that targeted a site near a Ram hospital caused severe damage to the facility in Abbasiyeh. The NNA reported large explosions on Saturday in the towns of Yomo al-Shakif in Nabatea and Tebe in the Marjayun district, both in southern Lebanon. On Thursday, an Israeli attack near the Tebnain hospital in southern Lebanon damaged all 3 floors of the building, including the emergency room, intensive care unit, surgical ward, and ambulances parked outside, according to the Ministry of Public Health. In the meantime, and finally, an Israeli airstrike has killed at least 5 police officers and a 13-year-old boy, Gaza police say, as Israel continues its attacks across the Gaza Strip despite the ceasefire in place. News from Gaza City on Saturday said that the police officers were killed on the spot and according to sources at Al-Shifa Hospital, at least one civilian on a nearby street was also killed. At least 10 others were wounded. In a statement, the Gaza Police Directorate said 2 missiles had hit a police post in the At-Tuam area in northern Gaza. The missile strike on the police post comes as the 10,000-strong police force in Gaza emerged as a sticking point in talks to advance United States President Donald Trump's plan for Gaza. The war that Israel launched following the October 7, 2023 attack by Hamas was halted by a ceasefire on October 10, 2025, but the Israeli military has carried out almost daily attacks on Gaza since then and maintains a strict security regime. The attacks on Gaza's police force further threaten the distribution of aid, while the Palestinian enclave continues to struggle with the humanitarian crisis. Bimbo Akambi.
To end the news around the world, here again are the main points. Troops of the Joint Task Force Operation Adinkai operating under Operation Desert Sanity and related missions have recorded significant operation successes across the Northeast. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, has placed pharmacists and community pharmacists across the country on high alert following fresh Ebola virus disease outbreaks reported in parts of Central and East Africa. And on the foreign scene, a gas explosion at a coal mine in China has killed at least 90 people, marking the country's deadliest mining accident in recent years. BCOS TV is now on Niger TV app, and you can watch us from any part of the world. Also, BCOS website is live. Kindly visit www.bcostv.com. You can also reach us on GoTV, channel 134 and channel 113 on StarTimes. Now, before I go, if you see something suspicious, alert the authority for timely response. Be vigilant. And that's the end of the news around the world. Thank you for watching.
So creamy, tastes better with Cremella.
Enjoy the deliciously rich taste of Cremella Crema.
For any other choice of meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even between meals.
It's hard to resist the deliciously rich taste of Cremella. It tastes better with Cremella.
Unbeatable. That's the BCOS for you. Yeah, BCOS TV. Oluyole 98.5 FM Ibadan. Agility 92.1 FM Ogbomoso. Okeogun 96.3 FM Alaga. For inquiries and patronage, please call. That's the BCOS customer care line for you. Do call BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own. Walk lọ́rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ láti kéde nílé akéde Tọ̀yọ́ ni ó nílò kó ṣe mọ́ dára rẹ̀ láàmú sọpọ̀ òun wọkọ̀ bọ̀ wá sílé akéde lóríta Basọ̀run nílùú Ìbàdàn mọ́ pàápàá jùlọ láti ṣe ìkéde yẹn polówó ọjà yẹn tàbí fi ń tọ́tọ́ tó sì yẹ tó àwọn aráàlú létí bóyá nípa àpàdé nípa àsọjí àbí nǹkan kan àbómi ìtẹ́bálẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe ẹ torí agbègbè àgbáyé kẹ́ẹ̀nà tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe hàn wá 09158703300 lórí agbègbè kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ WhatsApp nọ́mbà yìí kan náà mọ̀ ní ọ̀rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ stress free courtesy BCOS. You don't have to stress yourself coming down to Ile Akede Orita Basọ̀run Ìbàdàn again to make that announcement or place that advert. Book online personal paid announcements, obituaries, or in memoriam, annual conventions, workshops, crusades, social diaries, inter-house sport competitions, musical shows or concerts, and other promotions. Very simple. Go online to book for transmission on BCOS radio channels or BCOS TV, or simply call 091 5870 3300 or WhatsApp on the same number 091 5870 3300. BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own.